Imagine standing on a hill, musket in hand, staring down the might of the world's greatest empire, knowing your next move could spark a revolution or end in your death. It's June 17th, 1775, and the American Revolutionary War is erupting. Welcome to the Battle of Bunker Hill, a clash that wasn't just about who won or lost, but about a fledgling nation daring to defy a global superpower. Here's the kicker. Most of this iconic battle didn't even happen on Bunker Hill. Intrigued? Join us as we unravel this pivotal moment where ordinary men became legends and a single day reshaped the fight for American liberty. To understand this turning point, let's step back to the spring of 1775, when the American colonies were a powder keg of rebellion. The battles of Lexington and Concord in April had lit the fuse, proving colonists would fight for their rights. Now, the British Army, barricaded in Boston, was surrounded by a growing colonial militia. Farmers and shopkeepers turned freedom fighters. Controlling the high ground around Boston wasn't just a military tactic. It was a bold middle finger to an empire. Bunker Hill and Breed's Hill, overlooking the city and its vital harbor, were strategic gold. Holding these hills meant watching every British move and ensuring any attempt to crush the rebellion would face fierce resistance. This wasn't just about land, it was about sending a message that echoed across the Atlantic. Picture this. On one side, ordinary colonists, blacksmiths, farmers, and merchants who traded plows for muskets overnight. They had no formal training, just a burning passion for freedom and a stubborn refusal to bow. Their weapons? A hodgepodge of muskets, hunting rifles, even pitchforks. Facing them was the British Army, a juggernaut of 3,000 redcoats, battle-hardened veterans of global campaigns, armed with the best weapons and training the empire could offer. To the world, it looked like a mismatch, professional soldiers against a ragtag militia. But don't be fooled. The colonists' grit, their knowledge of the land, and their fierce resolve to defend their homes made them a force no empire could underestimate. The night before the battle. On the night of June 16, 1775, tension hung heavy in the colonial camp. About 1,200 men, led by the steely Colonel William Prescott, faced a daunting task: fortify the high ground to challenge British control. In a daring move, Prescott chose Breed's Hill over Bunker Hill, closer to Boston, more exposed, but a direct threat to the enemy. Under moonlight, these men worked like fiends, shovels biting into the earth, sweat mixing with dirt. Each trench, each mound of soil was a step toward revolution. By dawn, Breed's Hill stood transformed, a makeshift fortress of dirt and timber, bristling with defiance. The British would wake to a sight that turned their confidence to dread, a hilltop ready to fight. The British response. The British didn't waste time. Major General William Howe, a battle-tested commander, saw the colonial fortifications as an insult to imperial might. He rallied 3,000 redcoats, backed by artillery and naval guns, for a direct assault. The plan? Storm Breed's Hill, crush the defenses, and teach the rebels a lesson. As boats ferried redcoats across the Charles River, their scarlet coats gleamed, their confidence unshaken. They'd faced ragtag forces before, and won. This, they thought, would be a quick victory to snuff out an annoying rebellion. But the colonists waiting atop that hill had other plans. Plans forged in courage and a refusal to yield. The battle unfolds. At dawn, the battle exploded. The British advanced in tight ranks, bayonets flashing, drums pounding a relentless beat. From their redoubt, the colonists waited, muskets ready. Legend credits Colonel Prescott or General Israel Putnam with the iconic order, "Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes." Myth or not, it captured their strategy: make every bullet count. When the redcoats drew close, the colonists unleashed a storm of musket fire. The first wave collapsed, redcoats falling in droves, retreating in chaos. Howe, stunned but resolute, launched a second assault. Again, the colonists' precise volleys tore through British ranks, forcing another retreat. But ammunition was running low. As the British regrouped for a third push, the colonists faced a grim reality. Their powder was nearly gone, and the enemy was closing in. the climax, and retreat. The third British assault was a brutal crescendo. With ammunition spent, colonists fought with whatever they had: bayonets, clubs, even rocks. The redcoats, now reinforced, surged over the redoubt in a savage melee. Shouts, steel, and blood filled the air as the colonists, exhausted and outnumbered, were forced to retreat. Breed's Hill fell to the British, a tactical win for the Empire. But victory came at a horrific cost. Over 1,000 redcoats were casualties, 226 dead, 828 wounded, including key officers. The colonists lost 450 men, with 140 killed, including the beloved General Joseph Warren, whose death became a rallying cry. This wasn't just a battle. It was a signal that the road to revolution would be paved with sacrifice. The cost of victory. The numbers tell a grim story. The British suffered over 1,000 casualties, a staggering blow to their ranks, with seasoned officers among the fallen. The colonists lost 450, including General Warren, a loss felt deeply across the colonies. These figures reveal the battle's ferocity and a hard truth. Even victory leaves scars. For the British, the cost was a wake-up call. This rebellion would not be crushed easily. For the colonists, every loss fueled their resolve, turning grief into a fire that would burn through the revolution. The Battle of Bunker Hill wasn't just fought on a hill. It was fought in the hearts of those who dared to dream of freedom. The aftermath and impact. The battle's echoes reached far beyond Breed's Hill. For the colonists, holding their own against the British was a massive morale boost. It proved that a scrappy militia could challenge an empire, inspiring more to join the cause. For the British, the heavy losses were a shock, a warning that this war would be neither quick nor cheap. In London, King George III doubled down, rejecting compromise and vowing to crush the rebellion. The Battle of Bunker Hill reset expectations, showing both sides that the fight for America's future would be long, bloody, and unforgiving. It wasn't just a battle. It was the moment the revolution gained unstoppable momentum. Key figures and legacy heroes emerged from the smoke of Breed's Hill. Colonel William Prescott, cool under fire, led with unshakable resolve, his decision to fortify Breed's Hill a masterstroke. General Israel Putnam rallied men with his fearless spirit, while Colonel John Stark's New Hampshire fighters brought frontier grit to the fight. Their courage laid the foundation for a revolution. Today, the 221-foot Bunker Hill Monument, built between 1825 and 1843 and dedicated with heroes like the Marquis de Lafayette present, stands as a tribute to their sacrifice. It's a reminder that freedom's cost is steep, but its rewards endure through the ages. Fun facts and myths. Every great battle spawns legends. The cry, "Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes," may be more folklore than fact, but it perfectly captures the colonists' discipline and grit. And here's a twist. We call it the Battle of Bunker Hill, but the real fight raged on Breed's Hill. These quirks remind us that history is a blend of truth and tale, each story adding color to the revolution's legacy. They keep us hooked, wondering what other secrets the past holds. The Battle of Bunker Hill wasn't just a fight for a hill. It was a defiant stand for freedom. The British may have won the ground, but the colonists won something greater: the belief they could prevail. The battle's staggering cost showed the world that liberty comes at a price, paid in courage and blood. As we stand in the shadow of the Bunker Hill Monument today, we honor those who fought, their sacrifices shaping a nation built on resilience and hope. History isn't just about the past, it's about the fire it ignites in us today. Join us next time as we uncover more epic moments that shaped our world, fueling our quest for justice and freedom. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more stories that bring history to life.